Alright guys, got the old transmission out of the car. If you've been following along, you know I pretty much cooked it at the last time I was at the track, which it was having a little bit of problems before. But got roughly over a little bit of a year out of that one. Beat this car pretty hard, makes basically almost 800 wheel, still on 93 pump gas. Got that one pulled out. Pulled the TCM out of it, so they can take it back as a core, and took the TCM out of this one. I got to put my TCM in this transmission. This is a low mile used one, 8,000 miles, stock hp70. Just decided to put another stock one in for the time being. Still plan on getting a built one, but we'll see how long we can get out of this one. We're going to show how to swap your TCM over. That came with the car to, say, your new transmission, used transmission, whatever. And going to show you how to take the valve body off. We'll flip this one over and take the pan off. I'm also going to show how to properly fill the transmission on a performance standpoint. All right, guys, your pan bolts are T40s. Take them out, take them all out, and pull your pan off. Make sure the transmission's empty of fluid, so drain all that. This is where you drain it out. All right, now that I got the pan off, I've already pulled the TCM out of this one, so basically I just had to slap the valve body back in it just for the time being. All your T40 bolts is the ones that holds this valve body to the transmission. So take all the T40 bolts loose. Then I'll show you how to pull that out. Okay, there are 14 of those T40 bolts. This right here is your shift linkage. Right here for the valve body. There's the arm, just hold this kind of like so. Then you can just pop the valve body up. But after I get the TCM in here, I'll show you what else you have to do, but I'm just trying to get you an idea. All right, here's what the transmission looks like with the valve body out of it. All right, here's what your TCM looks like. I already had it out, but I just laid it on top of here to show you. It's mounted on top of your valve body. Got a couple of plastic tubes here, just make sure the O-rings are not cut or nicked or anything. But here's your valve body. Your valve body with TCM on it. Basically, I just laid it on here to show you. This is the sensor that will go into the transmission. I'll show you in a minute. But basically just laying on there. All right, guys, like I said, I just doing this for demonstration purposes. I just set it back on there. I already had it pulled out previously. Just lift it up. It's got little dowel pins on it. This is basically what it is, your TCM. Okay, so we're going to set it back on here. See where all your solenoids hook in. Just line it up. Just press down gently. Make sure it is in the solenoids and everything is hooked in. Then this wire here, it's got a little notch there, it lays in. Then it clips on this bolt, then it'll bolt here. We use the short one. Just run it in gently. We're going to torque all these in a minute. And then it will plug into this green solenoid here. Okay, now, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bolts to actually hold the valve body, or the TCM to the valve body. One there, here, I think it is here. One here. One here. At the end of the video, I'll mark all these with a marker to show you which ones to take out. And these are T27. You need a T27 and a T40 socket. Okay, that is that. Show you real quick. This is the bottom. Flip it back over. Okay, and we'll set the valve body in it. Those two plastic tubes I showed you go right here. And you have to hold the shift lever down. Set this down just for a second. There is a mechanism back here that you have to push. I'll show it to you in a minute. Just hold it down a little bit, and you can move your shift linkage right there. Take the valve body, set it on there gently. Like so. Basically just fall into place. And once you get it there, just give it a little bit of a push, like short seated. But that linkage, the ear of it, you'll see it move. You have to get it into the linkage on the valve body. This right here, just hold down on it, then move your shifter linkage over here and you can move it. This sensor goes in the back of the transmission, this little hole, like so. Just fall right in. Just don't force it. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Right there. And you'll put a bolt in it. There's 3 bolts back here. Then right here on this plug, I'll show you in a second what you got to do on it. All right, guys, now on this plug, you see that's where your connector plugs in on your car into the transmission. This plug right here goes in. It's got an alignment dial. You basically, I don't know how well you see it. You can see it a little bit right there. Lines up with that. You put it in like so, push it all the way in. Then you'll push this down. Then put the bolt in it. You have to take the bolt out, pull this up when you're removing it, and take a pair of pliers and grab a hold of this and gently pull it out before you can remove the TCM. So, just wanted to show that. All right, guys, it's all torqued down. All your T40 bolts, remember, hold the valve body to the actual transmission case. You have to take these T40s out. There's 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then remember to take your plug out. Take that bolt out and lift this up. It's like a locking sleeve. Then pull your plug out. But the ones marked white is the ones you take out. I'll also put some instructions in here that gives you the torque specs and like the numbers on the bolts, what's what. But that's basically it. I'm going to put the pan back on now, and it torques to 89 inch-pounds. All right, guys. On the torque specs on the transmission real quick, all your T27 bolts torque to 58 inch-pounds. 58 inch-pounds. And the T40 bolts torque to 89 inch-pounds. All the T40s torque to 89 inch-pounds. All the T27s torque to 58 inch-pounds. We're getting ready to put the fluid in it. Here's what we're using. This is what Simple uses. This is cheaper than the Mopar stuff and a better fluid. There's what it is. Liquid moly, 1800. Usually if you got a bone dry hp70 or hp90 transmission with a converter, they take around 11 quarts. Going to show you how to properly fill it up in a performance standpoint. So get ready to do that. All right, guys, we're under the car. This plug right here, side of the transmission, I already loosened it up. It's 8mm Allen. Take an Allen wrench, take it out. We're going to fill it up till it comes out. Then after we do that, we're going to start it. Then we're going to fill it up till it comes out again. Then we're going to cycle it through the gears, shut it off, and we're going to jack the car up on the passenger side and tilt it to the driver's side. Then we're going to fill it up one more time till it runs out of that hole really, really good. About the size of the hole, about the size of your thumb. You want a stream coming out. Guys, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I filled it up with it off, started it up, filled it up till it ran out again, and now I got the car tilted to the driver's side, took the plug out, nothing's coming out, so we're going to fill it up again till we get a real good wide stream, then we're usually done. Alright guys, that's what you want right there. Alright guys, not sure how well you can see it, but you can see the car tilted to the driver's side. That's basically what you want to do on the final fill, or you can go ahead and do it that way. Here's the little electric pump I was using. Just use like a jump box up into it, or you can figure something out. Just like a $20 pump. I'll put a link to it in the description. Put a little piece of copper pipe on it there and bend it to make it a little easier. This is the fluid. Liquid moly, ATF, Top Tech 1800. But yeah, basically just a short rundown, trying to make it simple as possible, because if you go by the factory recommendations, they just overcomplicate it, and plus that's not really what you want in a performance standpoint, because if you go by the factory standpoint, just let it drizzle out and do that. Sometimes when you launch these cars with the 8 speeds, they'll want to hang a gear or whatnot, and you start throwing mods at them because they're not getting enough fluid sucked up in the transmission, because it goes away from it when you launch. So what we do at the shop, what a lot of other shops do, basically we'll say the transmission's bone dry, fill it up till it runs out with the vehicle off, start it up, fill it up again till it runs out, cycle it through the gears, let it shift, or you can go drive it and bring it back. But the thing about that is, all this has to be done before the transmission temperature reaches 122 degrees, because this fluid expands. So all of it has to be done before the fluid reaches 122 degrees trans temp. But you basically want, just tilt your car to the side on the final fill, vehicle running, fill it up till it runs out of the hole, just like a rear end, really good. You want a stream about wide as your thumb, about the size of the hole coming out. That way you know it's a little over full, and it should be good. Afterwards, if you want to, you can go drive the car right through the gears, then let it cool back down and check it one more time. Overfill the 8-speed transmissions, and they usually don't puke out, but you cannot do it to a NAG 1 or so. You can go about a quart over on a NAG 1, that's it. Usually they'll puke it out. Any other really transmission pukes it out, but the 8 speeds are just weird. You overfill them. That's usually what we do at the shop, and all the performance companies usually just overfill them. Like I said, dry they'll take around 11 quarts, but y'all always still want to check it. But that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to break that down because I see that question a lot about the transmissions, how to fill them and switch TCMs out or whatnot. The TCMs are weird in these cars. This one's a 15. If you get a 15 to 17, sometimes your tuner can work on that transmission TCM and get it to communicate with the vehicle and whatnot. But 18s and up have a different Dodge programming that you have to go in and reset all the calibration stuff, the VIN ID and all that stuff to get it to communicate. So if there's nothing wrong with your TCM, it's just easier to do that and you're ready to go. But that's going to be it for this video. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.